And welcome back to another episode of the Grip It and Rip It Sports Podcast. And today, it is me, it's Tops, but we have a special guest here, ladies and gentlemen, and his name is JD.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
Michael Jackson intro. Okay.
That was pretty good, Dan.
I thought I was all right.
Real glad to be here. Appreciate the invite. Where'd you guys get these headphones? Salvation Army?
Thanks for coming on.
No, legitimately, those fucking headphones were found in my trunk, and they had been there for God knows how long. And it's surprising they work.
In case the viewers are wondering, Dan does have junk in his trunk.
I got a booty. But it can't be touched. Only one person can touch that booty.
We want to give a shout out to Dan and Michelle. Dan is now an engaged man.
Dan got engaged over the weekend.
Congratulations, you two.
Yeah, like I said, no one can touch his booty except you guys.
Well, you know how that
We'll allow
goes.
that.
Hard pass. Thank you, though.
Cool. So getting into this week's headlines, we appreciate you coming on. We're going to just roll through everything. Go ahead. Feel free to speak up, share your opinion with us. And
Talking sports. Yeah.
we're going to talk some sports. We're pretty good at that.
Okay.
Did you guys watch Kentucky Derby?
I saw the miscues.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I was too busy drinking tequila.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah, pretty sure we were all drinking tequila at that time.
We were.
Yeah. The people that crack me up the most are the people that complain about it. Like, I mean, those horses running in a circle wasn't as entertaining as you hoped.
And a left turn.
Yeah.
And another left turn.
Yeah, let me guess. The horse is going to turn left three
Is
times,
it like?
I think.
Yeah, here's an interesting question, just to go on the first tangent of the day. What's a more entertaining sport, horse racing or NASCAR?
Jeez.
320 horsepower or one?
I mean, it's the battle of poor white people versus rich white people, I think. I'm not really sure.
I think NASCAR's a little more interesting to myself personally, just because of the engines.
But
That's pretty cool.
It's a car.
I don't know. When I think
It's
about
not
it,
a
it's like
sport.
it's like
a car.
one of them you win, and you get to make money because your horse gets to fuck. The other one you win, you get to make money and you get to fuck your sister. So, which one is it? Which one's better? I don't
When
know.
you put it that way.
I'll probably go with horses then. If it's phrased like that.
The horse that won maximum security was disqualified due to some bumping. I've never heard of that. I didn't
Really?
know that was a thing.
I got it. My grandpa was actually really big into horse racing. He was actually really because you could actually be pretty good at horse racing, at betting it, if it's like you make that shit your life and you know how to read the papers and whatnot and the information they give you pre-race. My grandpa would kill that shit. He was 82 years old, not even, maybe a little younger, like 79 when I went with him for the first time when I turned 18. We went to the horse track in Chicago. His memory was starting to go a little bit at that time, and motherfucker still won like $300 on a trifecta. He was good at it.
My
So he did-
granddad was really big into it too. He actually raced a couple horses back in the day.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Old school Vegas shit. They were just they invested in a horse.
Invested.
Hopefully it'll win and we can sell its sperm.
Yeah. So I mean, they made out all right. But
I mean, actually, have you guys ever been to the track though?
I've been to Del Mar, San Diego.
Okay,
I've
it's
been-
actually a good time.
I've been to the
It's
Del
a-
Mar track too, but not for horse racing.
Dan just loves any excuse to day drink.
I've been
Get
to
my girl
see,
in a
like-
big hat, give me a margarita.
Hey,
I've been to see actually like equestrian horse like competitions. I've seen that. It's interesting, man. That shit, they're high strung, dude. That shit is crazy. That's a sport, I would say.
What?
Yeah, equestrian.
No, I'm a Leo.
So the winner of the Kentucky Derby, the actual winner, Country House, he won't run at the Preakness. It's cited that he's coming down with a viral infection, so they want to make sure he's okay. Obviously, he's
well, yeah, they want to sell his fucking sperm for $100,000 a pop,
So they want to make sure he's good
Yeah.
rather than run him in the Preakness and risk further
Or-
sickness.
or they're trying to make it to where it's like, dude, this is a one-off. Motherfucker won, get him out. He's on top of the world right now. He ain't winning
Sell,
again. He was
sell.
65-1.
I saw his medical report. It was second place disease.
It's like we barely got away with this one, boys. Time to
Yeah.
get out while we can.
Well, that and you know how rare the Triple Crown is, and the horses when they try to go after it and they don't achieve it, they're like broken down after that. So
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. Maximize your profit if you know you can't do it.
Exactly.
That's why only very special horses even get the shot.
And it just happened last year.
Yep. Was it last year or was it 2 years ago?
Either way, way too recent for it to happen again.
Before that, it was like 1977.
77, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, something like
It's a
that.
long time.
So Le'Veon Bell is missing from voluntary team workouts.
What a surprise.
So we're mad about this?
No,
I'm not even surprised about it, to be
Oh.
honest with you.
He was asked on Instagram, quote, when at Le'Veon Bell gonna come to practice.
Who said that?
We'll show it in the clip that I sent to you.
I'm saying, is
Where-
it
where-
a teammate?
No, somebody left a comment. No, it's just a random person left a comment, and he responded.
It's a random person on Instagram?
Yeah.
Hang on, but the question, if we're going to show it later, where do I point? We're going to put it right.
Yeah, it'll be above
Here?
Chris's head.
Okay. Put it right here. But yeah, no, I mean, it really doesn't surprise me at all. Like the dude's, I mean, I'm all, like, and I think I've said this before on the show that I'm all for getting your money. Dude, go get your money. But the way Le'Veon Bell did it, he's playing in a position that's not as valued as it once was. He ended up making less money by sitting out than he would have if he had just signed one of the extensions that the Steelers wanted to give him.
I mean, all those things are true, but I think the question was,
Well, let me go into his answer.
you guys
real
catch
quick.
no, you guys catch the keyword there?
Yeah.
Voluntary workouts.
Right. Le'Veon's answer was,
Tom Brady didn't go last year.
Tom Brady do it. Fucking
Gronk
wants to
didn't
do.
go last year.
Here, the difference between Tom Brady and Le'Veon?
rings.
6.
Do people get hurt in practice sometimes?
I mean,
And why and you just got
Isn't
a
it
4-year
shells?
deal where they can cut you at any point?
So let me give you his answer.
Fuck any extra practice.
Le'Veon's
Practice
Bell
at
answer
home.
was, when it's time to play football, I got to stick to the formula that I know works for me to be the best player I can be. I'm not just trying to win football games. I want to win a ring. I want to desperately show everybody what I can really do. I'll take all the heat right now. Everybody will forget about all of that once January comes around.
you want to know why
Fuck the
everybody's going to forget
workouts.
about all that when January comes around? Because the fucking Jets are going to be like 5-12 or 5-10.
Hot take.
It goes either way.
Jets will either be one team away or they will get the last wild card spot in the AFC.
Ooh, you think Sam Darnold's gonna show out this year?
Weak division, good defense.
Okay, I can
Quarterback,
see
running
that.
back. They got to play the Dolphins twice, the Bills twice. There's 4.
Hey,
They're going to lose the Patriots twice after 4-2.
I'm
can
not
you
a
go
Josh-
5-5 after that?
I talked a lot of shit on Josh Rosen, but I mean, I'm rooting for him now. Now he's in Miami, so hey, I'm hoping Miami ends up being. I feel like the Miami's always that fucking team though that goes like, they're like 6-6 halfway through the season. They're like right on the cusp of maybe being good, but also like they're kind of bad.
You know what's funny? Is
They're Christian Slater.
Their biggest problem is that they're in the same division as the Patriots, but yet
also
they
true.
still like have a winning record against them. They're like the only team.
They play them tough.
Yeah,
Like,
Every year.
forever.
and
Ever since the Wildcat was incorporated. That's really when it started, I feel like, when Ronnie Brown did it.
Well, if you look at like Brady's numbers, like on the road in hot games, they're not good. The Jets are used to playing in the cold because they're fucking back east. So like them going to New England's not a big a deal as it is for the Dolphins or pick another team. But
Shohei Ohtani is back.
The Asian sensation.
Yep. He 7 months ago he had Tommy John surgery. He's penciled in to bat third behind Trout and serve as a DH.
I mean, I was skeptical last year when Ohtani came into the league, just because you don't see, literally you don't see a hitter and a pitcher anymore. That's just
He's the
you stick to
rarest
one
breed.
thing. And he proved that he could do both last year.
I
And
agree.
so it's a shame that the Tommy John surgery happened. Hopefully he comes back from it and can still be a valuable pitcher. I'm not sure if they're going to – I'm wondering if the Angels will even let that happen because he's actually that potent of a hitter, I guess my biggest question is with Tommy John, when you tear your UCL, how does it affect – because, you can't throw a baseball, and that's why he's going to DH, but how does it affect the swing when you hit, That's my question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that it definitely isn't as hard on hitters as it is on
You
pitchers.
wouldn't think so, yeah.
Right? Like the pitching is just a different thing where they're whipping that ball around. It's creating all that tension on the elbow, where with the swing, it's more of a drive through with the hips. So
It's just something you don't see,
I'm glad to see that he's back, and it really shows what type of player he is that they're bringing him back just to hit, and they're good with that.
Yeah, like fucking.
I mean, at this point, why risk it? At this point, I mean, the dude proven he can do two things. One thing, the likelihood of getting Tommy John's up, like 80% more likely is compared to playing right field or first base or wherever they end up putting him. I mean, if the dude can do both, I wouldn't risk him. And even if they do let him pitch, they're still going to put him on innings restrictions for like 3 years.
Yeah,
Get
and
the
he's
Strasburg treatment. So,
probably not going to pitch this year.
so why wouldn't you rather play every day?
If honestly, this is what I would do if I was the Angels. Now, this is a bit tougher because, people might think it's easy to do, but it's really not a easy thing to do, switching roles. But obviously, you keep him out. You don't let him throw the fucking ball through the rest of the year. He doesn't throw a ball till 2020. And when I mean March of 2020. So
A lot of guys come back better from Tommy John.
normally, but there is the risk of it happening again still.
Well,
So
Absolutely.
and the biggest complication typically is you get nerve damage from the surgery, which affects your thumbs, your fingers, your limbs. So if every time you go to crank something 95, you get a little hiccup in your get up, or your accuracy is
yeah, your control goes
shot.
down. But see, and that's what I was going to say is, and I wonder if the Angels will end up doing this because I think it's a great idea essentially. Because if you're going to play him next year, I think he DHs all of this year, and I mean that's why it's great that he's in the AL because he can DH. You don't even have to fucking let him throw the baseball at all. But if he does start playing the field again, you could put him at first. You could put him in the outfield. So there's a bunch of options there. Turn him into a reliever.
He's pretty tall, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Play 8 and close.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Fucking bringing in the first baseman, Shohei Ohtani.
Are you able to switch DHs? We need to look this up because off the cuff, I think I want to say yes,
that's
but
it.
there might be a rule. Can you switch a DH to a position after they've already started the game as a DH?
I think you can because I seem to remember John Olerud got hurt in a Mariners game once, and I think Edgar Martinez replaced him at first base, and he was definitely the DH.
Interesting. That is,
I would have to
don't know, and I
fact
would like
check
to look
that.
Yeah, please let us know because that's actually
Because
a
that
very
would be
good
dirty
point.
where he could pitch you let him hit for the first 6-7 innings.
Motherfucker just comes in
And
the
then he
ninth.
comes in.
DH
He
and
could even
save.
be your bridge guy. He could be your
Yeah, he could
7th,
be a
8th
setup guy.
middle guy, setup guy.
So I'm saying
He doesn't have to be a closer either.
I feel like it's less risky if you still want him to pitch because the dude throws like 97,
And you
98.
could get more games out of him that way.
Yeah.
If he
70
becomes a
games.
less
closer-
He
innings,
could pitch
less wear
70
and tear.
games, less innings, more at bats.
So I mean, the real question is if he becomes a closer, does he have to get like a Asian sensei beard?
No, if he becomes
Fuck yeah,
if he
he does.
'Cause
becomes
all the
a,
closers, man, they all got the. So
Fu
he's got
Manchu.
yeah.
no, if he becomes a closer, the Angels
Kill
are
Bill
hiring
style.
us, is what they're doing.
They're what?
If he becomes a closer, the Angels need to hire us.
Oh,
As talent managers.
Yeah.
you heard it
or
here
analysts.
first.
Or just decision makers.
I've been saying if you put me in fucking football or baseball as some type of GM or consultant, then your team's gonna do well.
If we had a fantasy league the entire NBA, I think I'd fare very, very well.
I think we could do well in the NBA as well.
I think so.
Tiger Woods honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
That was good. Despite what you think about politics, Tiger Woods had a lot of good stuff to say. It was cool. Just, still the White House. Cool honor.
I mean, I'm not going to say the man doesn't deserve it by any means, so it's cool that they gave it to Tiger. He's a very influential figure with a great comeback story. It's good to see him kind of turn it around. Yeah, so hell yeah. So I ain't got no problems with it.
Like, when Tiger's doing good, America's better. I think we learned that this week.
I mean, literally, when he won it, it was like a moment of solidarity. Like, everybody, there was finally something that everyone in the world, white, black, Mexican, Asian, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever side you want to be on, everybody came together in that moment. There was nobody out there that like, fucking Jordan Space should have won.
Everyone was happy for Tiger. I
Yeah.
agree. If you-
Go, there's one gets like Caden.
Yeah.
Go speed.
So for our last headline, Dan, this will appease you. Today, May 7th, is the 30-year anniversary of Michael Jordan hitting, quote, the shot. Shot on Elo is good. The Bulls win.
It's a
They
shot that I've
win. Yeah.
recreated many a times right outside those doors.
Yeah.
Infamous games of horse.
And
Yeah.
I call it, and you have to sink the shot, and then you have to do the jump, and you got to do the fist pumps.
And if you have a person as a prop, they have to fall and cry,
Yeah,
like Craig Ela did
exactly.
right here.
But I mean, I love looking back at all the Jordan stuff, man. It's just fun to go back and revisit sometimes.
He was like the first guy. Him against the Knicks is like the first thing I ever witnessed or like can like consciously recall from my childhood.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't remember the Elo shot.
Space Jam still holds
No,
up.
that was 89. It
It
was
was
way before.
90, I believe.
80. Yeah, I read 89.
Was it 89? Because the Bulls didn't win that year. That was they finally got past the
It was,
Cavs.
I think it
and
was
then-
the first time they won a series.
Yeah, it was.
They won it in 5. It was a first round series.
Jordan's
But like
fourth year, fifth year, fourth year, fifth
But like you said, my earliest memories of watching basketball were literally sitting in my grandparents' basement with the rest of my family back home in Chicago, and it was, the NBA Finals. I think the first one I really remember was probably the 95-96 versus the Supersonics. That's probably the first one that I really remember because, I was too young. I was only, I think, 2-3 years old during the first three-peat. But, I have vivid memories of sitting in the basement watching those games,
Do you think that's Jordan's greatest asset right now as everyone talks about the GOAT and their top 10? Do you think that the biggest asset is the nostalgia factor?
Yes.
It definitely helps
100%.
I
keep
think
it
it's his
breathing.
biggest asset. At the end of the day, it's not even like...
Let's put it this way. If there was no LeBron James,
It wouldn't be a conversation.
nobody would be having the conversation. Now, that's not to say that people wouldn't talk about it still, but it wouldn't nearly be as prevalent. Like it's
Not even close,
it's a
yeah.
common topic on any talk show, podcast, whatever. The GOAT debate, and you could do it with just basketball, or you could talk about all sports. Who's the greatest athlete to play in any sport?
But I think that's his thing. The culture, the shoes, he's an icon. It's like beyond.
But the
It's beyond the tape.
We could
you
say
know what
that
I mean?
the GOAT debate is like the heartbeat of
I-
his prevalence.
Yeah. That's kind of everyone hates Kevin Durant. That's why no one's going to give him the credit in the long term.
No, everybody's gonna. It
If
doesn't matter.
They look back at his body of work. He's not going to get the respect he probably really deserves.
Yeah,
Because
And he-
everyone just doesn't like him. Who doesn't like Michael Jordan? Well, probably people on the Pistons and shit.
Yeah, Pistons fans, Suns fans,
And-
Supersonic
and
fans,
waiters.
and Jazz fans.
And
Jazz
especially.
fans really hate him.
and waiters.
Yeah.
I know Mitt Romney hates his guts. I know for a fact.
So but like you said, but then he's got the
Mitt
shoes,
Romney
man.
hates
He's got
Russell
so many
Westbrook more
things.
than anybody.
He also hates Dirk Diggler.
Yeah. It's devastating.
It really is, and I'm not even a Lakers fan, and it bothers me. It feels so it's like when you watch those shitty B movies from the '80s, and it's so predictable and crappy, and it's just like, why am I even
And then
watching?
there's
It's
that
not even a
whack
good one like
synth
Flash
music
Gordon.
behind it.
It's just I don't know. It's just so anticlimactic.
At this juncture, why do they not just name LeBron the head coach, like Bill Russell style? Like, why have the formality of the 5'9" ex-point guard trying to tell LeBron what to do? He got him 3 Eastern Conference championships. What else does he need to do for Ty Lue?
I think that probably more boils down to the perception that they want to give, where we might see through it, but most people wouldn't. You got to have a head coach, man. Come on.
I am losing more and more faith with the Lakers front office every fucking day.
It's been terrible. They've had a real bad 2-month run.
Well, at this point,
Real bad.
the biggest hang up that they have is that they basically require their head coach to be Lakers blood. So you're really sticking yourself in the foot and not allowing you to get the best potential
Yeah,
candidate.
but see, they could change that at any fucking time.
They haven't.
So
Oh, I know that, but
so
I'm
why
saying
is
they could.
Brian Shaw not getting the job then? Why are you going with the guy who got stepped over by Iverson in Game 1 of the 0-1 final?
It's because of LeBron. That's the thing that bugs the crap out of me, man. It's like, are they doing this for the best of the team, or are they doing this because of LeBron? And that goes back to your point. Then just make LeBron the player coach.
If they would just make him the coach, it would alleviate all this trash. He could drop the plays, and in the days he's not playing, wear a suit and do the same thing.
Dan, I think that it's both. Now, LeBron's also put in a request, or the wheels are spinning on Tom Thibodeau coming in and being an assistant.
That'd be cool.
I would love that.
And that's a LeBron shot.
Guess what? You're gonna fucking.
I would love
You're gonna
that.
get some defense on that team.
And that
the
team
Lakers
already
will
plays
play
defense.
some fucking
That
D.
team already is built to play defense.
They got a lot of length. That's for damn
Well,
sure. They'll be able to clog some length.
That's the problem when you don't have shooting. When you play really fast and you try to just get to the bucket, you're gonna get scored on a lot. So if you're not shooting threes, it's tough to outscore people. Yeah. So why are you playing fast if you can't shoot? Play slow. Play exactly. Play slow. Play defense.
You have some great players that can get to the hoop.
Well, if you look at the Cavs against the Warriors in the finals, the best games they had, they won them 87, 84.
Yeah, they were low-scoring games.
Low scoring, slow paced.
The
They're
Nuggets and
trying
the
to play Warrior ball with the Warriors. It's stupid.
yeah, you got to play them opposite.
The only team that can play Warrior ball with the Warriors is the Rockets,
We'll get to
which
that.
is why, we're gonna get to that.
We'll get there.
Sorry.
Nuggets and Blazers, they're freaking going at it, man.
It's a great series so far. Great series.
Amazing.
Have you ever
series.
seen 4 overtimes before?
Not in the playoffs.
Not an NBA, but I'm a big fan of the Syracuse 6 overtime game in the tournament against Connecticut. Eric Devendorf.
It could have been double overtime. He would have
Johnny
brought that
Flynn.
up.
Shit.
There's the homerism.
The homerisms of the show. Absolutely.
You walked right into that one.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I'm a huge LeBron James fan, so all of that Michael Jordan shit was jaded.
It was all tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Devil's advocate.
So where are we at? It's 2-2. The game's in a little bit. The game's tonight. It actually tips off here in 2 minutes. 2-2. Who do you have to win the series? How many games?
I think the way it's going right now, I think it's going to go 7. And just as a fan, I hope it fucking goes 7. Just because it's been a great series. That 4 overtime game was insane. I don't have anything invested in it. I got a buddy who's a fan of the Nuggets, so but I also have a buddy who's a fan of the Blazers, so I get to talk a little bit of shit in the group chat with both of them.
So
devil's advocate.
who do you have?
Yeah,
who do you have in Game 7?
Oh, the Nuggets are the 2 seed, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go Denver. I think Denver wins it at home.
JD.
Before the series, I said Portland in 7. God, it's really hard to lose in Denver 4 times when you're.
Yep.
I mean, man, it's just Portland's tough to travel to too, but they don't have the climate change issue.
The altitude.
That's the kicker for me is the altitude
That's
change.
a real big thing. But I think star power ends up powering it. Go McCollum, Lillard, big Game 7. They win. A couple free throws late, and it's over.
From the start, I had Denver in 6. I'm going to stick with that. I think they get Game 5, and then.
I mean, them losing Nurkic was huge, dude.
Yep. It's
that's very.
Cancer's been formidable, granted.
Yeah, but he's got to separate his shoulder.
It's playoffs, man.
And
people are going to be getting hurt.
Look, Portland acquired Nurkic to deal with the Joker. I mean, that's why Denver shipped Nurkic out.
Well, I mean, you have 2 players that are kind of similar, and it's like the Monroe and Drummond theory. It's like neither one of them will blossom if you keep them together too long because they both command the ball, the same kind of plays, and it's why like the '95 Magic they traded Chris Webber because Chris Webber plays like Shaq. So yeah, it's like that's why they traded for Penny Hardaway is because like you can't have 2 guys on the block trying to do the same shit. It doesn't work.
Yeah. God, the Magic could have been so good. Penny could have been so good.
Scott Skiles, 30 assists in 1 game.
Nick Anderson,
Dennis
Penny Hardaway,
Scott,
Dennis Scott,
Horace Grant,
Shaq, Horace Grant, Scott Skiles. They were so good.
Brian Shaw.
Oh, they could have been.
Wasn't he the backup point guard?
I think so, but I can't. I don't want to say that for sure. I'm gonna get fact checked on that.
So, I will say that you had Milwaukee pegged. And I was so wrong. And
I mean, let's not even say that yet because I don't want to be the kiss of death for the fucking Celtics.
let's not spoil that. Let's not spoil that. Now
he wasn't gonna do it. It's called a
tease.
It's called a callback.
Yeah. Now, man, for all the reasons I thought that Boston was going to prevail in this series, the exact same reasons I thought they were going to prevail, they have just floundered. Mm-hmm. They're not cohesive. They're not a team. It looks like a bunch of eye guys out there.
I don't want to blame it on Kyrie, but my God, does it look like he fucking does not want to be there.
I think the teammates are going to help pack his bags, man.
It does not look like Kyrie wants to be there. And if you're going up against Milwaukee, and I think Giannis over the course of this year has solidified himself as a top 3 NBA player for sure. I would go LeBron, Durant, and Giannis.
Oh yeah. He's my 3rd.
Like that man with the things that he can do is a fucking pro. If he ever learns how to shoot, oh fuck, man.
Yeah, I mean his jumper's not good, but he still be hitting them sometimes. Like,
exactly, and he still shoots a decent clip.
You still have to respect it.
You have to guard it.
You do have to guard it. But I'm saying if he could hit it at a more respectable clip, if he could start shooting over 45%.
I mean, think about it. He's playing small forward and he's doing Shaq numbers every night.
Yeah.
He's dominating
He's
people
doing like 25.
nobody's
15,
dominating
and the
team.
15 are boards.
Yeah. You can't stop the man if he's going to the hoop.
Everyone's talking about how he's such a great transition player. I'm like, bro, he's getting boards. Like, he's not like chilling at half court, James Harden style, waiting for the rock and transition.
No, he's getting the board.
He's getting the
pushing
board
it,
and then taking it.
One man
himself.
fast breaking and but in the half court he can ISO and get buckets too. And there is not.
And now he looks like DK Metcalf now.
There's not a more dominant player since Shaq. I don't think.
Chilling at half court, James
Totally
Harden style,
unstoppable.
waiting for the rock and transition.
I think LeBron in his heyday.
Peak LeBron.
Peak LeBron definitely.
But I don't know. Do you even put peak LeBron over Shaq? as more dominant.
No, I don't think
I don't think
anybody
he
will
can.
ever be.
If dominance is the only factor, then yes.
And that's all we're talking about. Like
Yeah.
Shaq is more dominant.
That's what I was
Yes.
going to say. It's that pure dominance and intimidation and just being able to physically overpower somebody. It's Shaq every time.
I'll say not even close. Greatest drop stepper of all time.
Yes, 100%.
That's
So wide. He
power
just turns a
dribble,
house, bro.
turn, done.
Sorry, Chris Dudley.
Yeah, major league problem.
Watch this now, Bob. Watch the power. He just overpowers him, and he comes down, and then he shoves him right there. Shaquille O'Neal was so powerful on that move that Dudley could not even foul him. He just got overpowered by Shaquille O'Neal.
All right, so in the third series is the Sixers and the Raptors series.
The claw.
He's destroying people.
First two words I could think of.
I just hate the Sixers right now, just because I have Jimmy Butler. So I'm rooting for the Raptors.
Well, I mean, as far as talent's concerned, they might be the second most talented team in the league.
The Raptors?
No, the
Oh,
Sixers.
the Sixers. I know that's why I was like
Pure
surprised.
talent, but like
It's a bunch of
obviously,
eye guys.
It's
That's true.
it's the same problem. It's
And they're not. There's not really. They don't have a plethora of shooters. I mean, yeah, Embiid could hit some from outside, but he's not playing
Jimmy and
out
Tobias. They're hitting pretty good. Well, that's the
Jimmy's
thing.
not a 3-point shooter. He could hit him, but that's not like he's not a Clay. You know,
He's not a Sharp.
He's not a Sharp.
No, he's
not a Steph.
a two-way shot.
Not a
creator.
Kyrie. Exactly.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it really just whether they win or lose is usually determined by what Ben Simmons is doing. Because if he can get to the hoop and command a double and make easy shots for everybody, they look really good. If he's bricking shit and they run through McConnell and Butler be like the fucking ball handlers, they look pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Well, tonight he was 3 for 5 with 4 assists.
That
Yeah,
would,
that's-
and they lost by how much?
30 almost.
There you go. Dude, I remember I was at Summer League. I think it was like 2 years ago. I was at Summer League, and I was at the Bulls game, and Jimmy Butler and McDermott were there when McDermott was still on the team. And I was trying to get fucking Jimmy to come sign my little, souvenir ballot they gave us upon entry into the stadium, Thomas and Mack. Motherfucker just sat there like he fucking owned the place. Like, yo, come give the kids a goddamn autograph, Jimmy. And then give me one too.
I'm not a fan.
And then he literally, like, there was like 15 screaming kids like, Jimmy, Jimmy. I was like, come on, Jim, come give the kids an autograph. And he just fucking stand. I'm like, you're not even fucking playing, asshole. You're just standing on the sidelines. And the game's not even going on. And then I've hated him ever since.
Okay, like I understand the athletes have responsibility and stuff, but at what point can you like blow somebody off? when
Especially
it's
some
your
kids.
No, I'm on the side of not doing it occasionally. Like if you've signed autographs for kids every day, 10,000 days in a row, and you want to blow your brains out. Like,
I don't know. I don't think I'd ever would have got.
you don't think you would ever skip an autograph session?
Oh,
for
not
some kids?
skip. I don't say. When you say skip, I feel like.
You
Here's
see
how I
Ric
look at
Flair
it.
signing all those autographs every time.
No, here's how I see
everyone
it. Like
loves them.
you sign a couple. I'm not saying you sit there for fucking 45 minutes and make sure every single kid gets an autograph. That's not what I'm saying. But I think if you're not doing anything at the NBA summer league,
I'm not
and,
justifying it. I'm just saying like he
I don't know.
coulda
I
had
just
some shit going on.
I guess maybe because I never made it that far. So I signed. I think in my career, and it is a humble brag. I think I signed maybe 10 autographs. Why I was supposed to sign autographs, I don't know why anybody wanted mine. I'm pretty sure it was like a little.
They thought you were going to the show, man. That's why.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Little 5'8" fucking piece of shit leadoff hitter in Kansas. But I did
Sounds
sign
like
a
Joey
couple.
Cora.
I did sign a couple, right? I don't know. I always thought it was cool. And I always figured that if I ever did make it big time, like, I would sign some autographs. I'm not going to sign for an hour long, but if I saw some kids sitting there screaming my name, like, hey, give me. I just remember myself being in that, position. That's what I always thought of it as. Like, when you're that little kid at your first baseball, basketball game, whatever, and you're sitting there, you're trying to get your favorite player to sign your stuff, and then he finally comes over and signs it. It's like the coolest thing in the world. I don't know. That's how I always looked at it as.
Well, I mean, the age-old saying is don't meet your idols because they'll only let you down. I mean,
It's true.
yeah.
Mark McGuire didn't come and sign my ball.
My dad has a beef with Johnny Bench over an autograph when he was 8.
See?
Yeah.
Paul Molitor, we were at a White Sox game, me and my dad, when we were younger, and a couple White Sox games. I tried to get Paul Molitor's autograph and Mark McGuire, and both those fucking assholes just like kept on walking, like, fuck you then.
Hey, Dan.
Dick. Yeah.
I still like you, Mark Wire. Paul Molitor, you were above average.
Mark, you cheated.
Dan, will you sign
drop
will you
dick.
sign an autograph for me before you get famous?
Of course I will.
Thanks, buddy.
Ooh, I have one of your autographs, actually.
Yeah, you do.
I need to get in the club.
Yeah.
I'll sign something for you too if you want, but
Well, we gotta make
I don't
like
have
a,
to.
well, that's what we should do. We should do like a grip it and rip it poster.
Hey.
have guests
And
sign
then,
it.
yeah, we could have a whole bunch of people sign it. And that, like, when we do the podcast, you know, the bigger and bigger we get, we could actually replace the back sign with it.
Mhm.
It'd be pretty cool.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Real quick, the Raptors, man. I think they're gonna fucking finish the series off.
I think they're
I
going
think
to
so
do
too.
it.
And I think
man.
that'll be, I hope they do, because I would love to see the Bucks Raptors.
They've got a lot of
It's been
experience.
a real hot, cold series, though.
They've got a
Real,
lot of experience here. Look, Pascal Siakam had 25, Kawhi had 21, Gasol had 11, Kyle Lowry had 19,
That's his lowest game in 2 weeks.
Danny Green had 17,
And they won by 30.
Serge had 10. Like,
This is my question, and this is why I want to see that series. You're going to have probably, I don't want to call him the best scorer because KD is still in the league and he's still in the playoffs, but Giannis is right there with him, and he's going to be matched up against the best defender with Kawhi
Do you think either of those two teams has an actual shot?
at beating the Warriors.
Or Rockets?
they could beat the Rockets.
They could
I'm not
definitely
even-
beat the Rockets.
It's
but
2-2. I'm not even worried.
So let's jump right into that series then.
I'm not even worried.
About what?
The Rockets tying it up 2-2.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Go.
this is the game they went up 3-2 last year before Chris Paul blew out the old hammy.
Yeah.
So that's coming.
They've been. I mean, I've been waiting for it.
Chris Paul's
Blake Griffin
inevitable
didn't.
demise.
Blake Griffin didn't make it long enough in the playoffs for his injury to happen. I'm sure it was coming.
I mean, dude, his knee was fucked up too. He's gonna.
Oh, he was hurt. Yeah,
he was.
dude. This is what, like 12 years in a row. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin.
It's the inevitable demise of Chris Paul.
I love those guys, but dude, got to be available in the postseason.
This series
Have
should
to.
be 3-1 Houston.
If the game one goes the way that the robots would have called fouls and stuff, absolutely.
You know, yeah,
The Warriors can lose, Dan.
they're not gonna. I mean, I will sit here and I will bite my tongue if for some fucking magical reason the Rockets win. I just
They might
don't
not,
see it
but
happening.
they
might,
could.
They might be the only team ever.
I said that they are
They
the.
could be down 3-0 and still probably be the
Win
favorite.
4 games in a row. Yeah.
Like
That's what I did say. I did say from the beginning, the best team, the team that has a chance, the only team I think in the playoffs that can run with the fucking Warriors is the Rockets. The Rockets were assembled to be a team that could run the exact same way almost as the Warriors do.
imagine if they wouldn't have hemorrhaged themselves for Carmelo. They could have a real nice squad right now.
Would they have to lose for that?
They lost Ariza. They couldn't re-sign him. They lost what's it called, big man.
Not Capella.
No, the bad.
Let's put it this way. I hope I'm wrong.
But they're saying they lost both those guys and 2 2s for Carmelo. For what? And then cut him 30 games in.
I want to be.
I'd
wrong.
rather have Ariza right now, personally.
So,
2-way.
how many games in? Who do you have winning that series?
Eastern Conference Finals?
West. This Rockets
West?
Warriors series. That's
Warriors
2-2.
in 6.
Yeah,
Warriors
Warriors is
The
6.
smart money.
Warriors are gonna win back in Oakland, and then they're gonna go to the Rock. They're gonna go to
Yeah.
Houston
Get
to
that
win.
I would love for Houston to win, but you don't get paid for what your heart tells you.
Chris Paul's inevitable demise is coming. Whether it's an injury or whether it's a fucking 4 for 25 shooting performance, it's gonna happen.
I think he's going to go off next game.
You think so?
And then
And it's
Like
hard.
5
has a
seconds
shit
left
game.
in the game.
then get fouled on the butt beater and get hurt. And
And then Katie hits a dagger 3-pointer to tie it up, and then
yeah.
you got 10 in overtime.
Well, they go up 3-2. They lose 2 in a row. They're even more devastated. Then they try and trade for fucking Lance Stevenson or something.
How awful will it feel to be on that Rockets? Let's just say, hypothetical situation, the Rockets win Game 5. They somehow go into Oracle, they beat the Warriors, and then they blow a 3-2 lead
Again?
2 years in a row.
Again.
Blow it up.
Because last year I
I would
thought
say it's probably the most likely scenario. Because they're going to be amped for Game 5. You're going to get maximum effort for 48 minutes.
And they should
James
be up
Harden might
3-1.
even play some defense. Look out. Whoa.
You mean like he's gonna let him blow by him, but it's actually gonna try to like poke it?
Yeah,
from behind?
maybe he'll take a charge instead of trying to get fouled every play.
I thought that the Rockets were gonna win it last year. I was in fucking Huntington or Newport last year when I was watching the game at the bar.
Shout out the used.
Did you see that flop he did in the
Fucking
first
for real.
round? Anybody?
No.
Harden's first round flop. Got hit like right here. Act like his fucking nose was broken. Got two free throws out of it.
I mean, the
Typical
NBA has
Harden
become
fashion.
the soccer of
wasn't even close to
American sports.
Yeah,
Didn't
like,
they start penalizing guys for flopping?
Yeah, you can be penalized for it now, but people still do
you
it
just get fined. What's 5 G's?
to a guy making
your fucking-
$35 million a year.
It's a $100,000 game check, dude. Like it's like taxes on a sandwich.
Charge him 20.
Well,
I say suspend
LeBron got fined $25K for one in the playoffs. When he's with the Heat. The one where he's like acting dead at half court.
Cumulative fine for Harden.
He's like, oh, my brain. Like,
He
dude.
thought he got punched in the face. I
hit-
feel like I remember.
Yeah, hit the middle
There's
of the
been so
bat.
many LeBron ones that I don't even know exactly which one we're talking about. Just like 3 or 4 of them pop in my head, like the one at half court where like I think it was his own guy that hit him and he fucking like jumped back and fell.
I'll have a moment of honesty. I hate it, but I like it when it works for my team.
Everybody does.
Dude, it's kind of like football. When we were young, they taught us to lead with your head. Like in basketball, they told you like sell charges, bro.
Yeah.
You were taught that. Sell that shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, can't be mad at it.
And
It's
if
in the
you're
game.
not as athletic as some of the guys we played against, you better shoot some threes and take some charges, dog.
Exactly.
Like, that's how we won when we were kids.
Moving on into NFL, we'll start with Odell Beckham with the Browns. He wants to he wants to turn the Browns into the Patriots, stating, "I plan on being there for the next 5 years or so, and trying to bring as many championships there as possible,
She wants to be an astronaut. I don't think she can do it.
turning the Browns into the new Patriots."
The Browns need to figure out how to be the Ravens first.
I would agree with that for sure.
The Browns, dude, they won 7 games last year, and that was 6 more games than they had won in the last 3 years. How about we just worry about maybe getting to 8 wins this year before we start talking about becoming the fucking Patriots?
8 wins becomes 9 wins becomes like
That's good.
They've
That's
got-
the natural order of
they're
things.
progressing that way.
Well,
We'll see.
or they could do the Carolina Panthers method, go 15-1, and then be
6 and 9 and 1 the
6
next year.
and 10 every year after that. But I mean,
I'm not sold on the
did you guys
Browns.
do a prediction show for the NFL at all?
I don't think we did.
You guys didn't pick division winners, did
Not
you?
yet. It's too early.
I like all these people that are taking Cleveland. Like, I feel like they're just like the dumbest people.
I think we settled.
I-
I
we
think we
did
did.
talk
we
about that.
settled on that still being Pittsburgh's division.
Yeah.
it definitely
at the end of the
is.
day.
It's Pittsburgh's division.
We both agreed
And
on
if it's
that.
not Pittsburgh's division, it's still the fucking
It's-
Ravens
it's
division.
Baltimore's, yeah. It's a tough fucking division.
It's a tough division. That both of those teams are great defenses, and the Browns are going to have to play them twice. And now Mayfield's in his second year. They have a year's worth of tape on him. I think he's the real deal. Like I've already said this. I think Mayfield is the real deal. But historically, second-year quarterbacks always have a harder time in
slump.
year 2.
Sophomore slump is a real thing.
Sophomore slump or comeback.
I
of the year.
mean, Vince Young won Rookie of the Year.
he also
Fast
Jeff
forward,
Fisher, so there's
fast
that.
forward to year 2. I mean, we can say whatever you want. The result of it was not very good. Year 2.
Yeah. It's-
I mean, he did the most incredible shit I've ever seen his rookie year, and then year 2, Cam destroyed the rushing touchdown record. Like year 2, he still threw for 4,000, but you could tell it's a lot harder when they get more tape on you.
And I think Lamar Jackson's going to run that same problem this year too.
he's gonna have a down. But I don't think he's gonna have a very.
I
good
don't
year,
think
though.
he. I mean, I am not a Lamar Jackson fan, but there's something to be said for being able to run the ball and playing good defense.
Well, bro, you've
especially
seen it
in that
with,
division.
with your football origin being at Pala. You witnessed what running the ball 80% of the time can do.
Yeah, I mean,
It's hard
As
to
long
stop.
as you could do it successfully.
what's he gonna do? Probably 22 pass attempts a game. 18,
Less.
I would do even less.
He was
I'd have
throwing
him
it like 12
18.
times a game, dude.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing. Is
but that was when he was the interim guy. He's had a whole offseason now. They'll probably
Let him
probably
loose
do
a little bit.
more.
well, that's the question
Well,
you
his
got to ask
scrambling
yourself.
ability is very good. I mean,
Do you want to win a Super Bowl, or do you want to be good enough to just make the playoffs again?
I mean, the ultimate goal.
I
is
mean
Super
that's
Bowl.
still a reach, dude. Like, do you want to sell jerseys and like have people give a shit about the Ravens? Like, you need to do something. Like playoffs, all that's great, but
If they want to win, he has to pass. they could skate by. You're right. They could skate by on Lamar Jackson's legs alone, and they brought in Mark Ingram.
And they'll run him into the
and
ground.
their defense is going to be great.
He's the perfect guy to add there, but this isn't 1970 anymore.
Well, that's my
They're
point. Is
have
that
to.
they'll be able to run the ball very well. They'll be able to play defense. They'll win games 20-13, 17-14. They still have Justin Tucker, who's fucking top 5 NFL kicker of all time, probably.
Bet you he leads the league in scoring this year.
Yeah.
Probably. Definitely the team. 100% the team.
I have him on my fantasy squad. He's not going anywhere. Motherfucker puts up points, Now,
while we talk about that, we'll plug this real quick. We've talked about doing our Dynasty rookie draft as a special edition episode. We've talked about it. We're going to try to put it into play here, and I think that'd be kind of cool to do.
Yeah, so let us know how you guys feel about it too. Comment on the video. Send us a message. We're definitely thinking we're going to do that. We're going to bring a couple extra guys in.
We'll see.
That are in the league as well.
At least one, but we want to do it live.
I am not in the league.
Yeah.
He is not in the league.
That person will be in the league. But now we did get off that main topic real quick. Did you guys see Odell's outfit at the Met?
Yes.
And this is
the
why
Met Gala?
the Browns will not be the Patriots.
Because of the suit.
Because of
The
the
suit's
fucking
the
He
one.
was like, it was a
the,
suit skirt.
It's the Giants boat of 2019.
Here, let me ask this question to you, Odell. Does Tom Brady ever wear stupid shit like that? No, he's fucking classy as shit. He
looked
dresses
he
up
looked
and
amazing
looks
last night.
great.
He looked
Okay.
like a white knight.
Tom Brady took a pretty big L to Danny Amendola.
I saw that. Was it the $100,000 bet?
Yeah, just chucking footballs.
Yeah. I bet Tom Brady was so upset. God, all that
Giselle
money.
ran him a check.
He had to go home and be like, "Baby, we lost
Giselle.
$100,000 tonight."
I lost $100,000.
She just licks her thumb, and
Or she was like, after you took that pay cut to sign those other guys,
you're fucking done. You're fucking done.
you're
dude.
an idiot. You can't be frivolous at
I
only
think that's the thing that-
$18 million a year.
And I think you just brought up a great point, and I want to just work off that for a second. Don't compare yourself to the Patriots if you're not willing to take the pay cut to bring in the dudes necessary to be fucking great, like Tom Brady has done year after year. That's how you know that man truly cares about winning championships and being a team fucking guy. Nobody, who else does it?
Go ahead.
The only reason that these kind of teams work right now, and it's actually, I think it's good for the league actually, because you get to surround young quarterbacks with help. But like the way the contracts are structured, is you're not set into that max deal until after you would complete like 4 years, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It's like 4 seasons.
4 seasons,
Yeah,
and you
if
get
you go first
depends on
round,
if you're a first-round pick
If you
or
go
not.
first, okay, let's say like top quarterback picks, for example, like
It's after they get the 5th-year option.
That's
and then,
why the Seahawks Super Bowl window was so tight, because you can only afford to pay Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas and these guys for so long while your quarterback's making shit.
Yeah.
So you can see the Jets are going to be good next couple of years, the Browns, but when you got to break these guys up 120 million, like the Kaepernick effect, when like you can't afford your 8 Pro Bowlers on defense anymore because your quarterback requires 120 million. It really hemorrhages the rest.
And
of
the
the
flip side to that is it's coming out that the Cowboys are looking to give Dak $30 million a year.
And then this is
The Cowboys right now are in that perfect Super Bowl
No,
window.
they're in that window.
They're in the window.
They're in the window.
But they're going to blow it.
And I'm hoping to God that the Bears don't blow it, because I think Trubisky is going to be a very good quarterback. I'm not going to put him in the upper echelon, but I think he's going to be
Give
very
him
good
110,
quarterback.
not 150.
That's what I'm saying. I really hope. And Mitch seems like a great fucking guy. He seems like a team guy, and I think Nagy's running the team well. So I hope that when that day comes, he's going to be like, yeah, give me fucking $17 million a year, $19 million a year.
Tell me that Tom Brady's got a 2-year 36 and Dak's going to sign a 4-year 80, or excuse me, 4-year 120. So that'd be the equivalent of a 2-year 60 versus a 2-year 36. That's the equivalency. Think about that. Dak versus Brady.
The teams that I hate
It's
the
laughable.
most is the Packers, and the Cowboys are right underneath it. My
Kirk Cousins
fucking
getting that money,
girlfriend's
too.
family's a
Kirk Cousins got the
Cowboys.
same money.
All
That 30,
guaranteed.
that $30 million fully guaranteed.
It'll be the
Shout
roller
out Kirk
coaster.
Cousins.
If Dak takes that money, it's fucking dropping. It's over.
It's gonna
Good
do.
luck losing Jalen Brown Jalen
Vander
Smith,
Esch.
Vander Esch, Byron Jones.
Ware's probably
Those
gone.
guys will be
Ware's been
gone within
retired.
2 years of that deal.
Yep.
Because they're going to be
Or
like,
just say
fuck, now we have
Lawrence,
we
right?
have no targets. We have
Dexter,
no.
they just locked him up, so he's
Who's
not.
who's the other end? On the other side.
Randy Gregory, who's suspended, and Taco Charlton.
Well, you act like you don't got to pay that O-line, bro.
Well, there are.
That's true,
Well,
too.
and that's something that they've discussed a rotation there because Lyle Collins is coming up, and they're probably not going to be able to afford to pay him. So
Dude, that's like,
they're running into Like they're
gonna run into the money
they're
problems
they're
real soon.
under the cap, but they can't give Dak $30 million a year, dude.
Dak
It's not
doesn't
gonna-
even fucking deserve $30 million a year, let alone
No.
should they even
I mean,
consider giving it
Definitely
to him.
not.
Like even somebody that's amazing, like Aaron Rodgers, for example,
Doesn't deserve.
doesn't
$30
have a lot of help now.
Well, that's the perfect example of look what happens when you pay your quarterback a shit ton of money.
The rest of the team is bones.
Literally.
I mean, look at what the Chiefs got right now. Mahomes is making shit. Alex Smith was making shit before that.
I've
Look at the talent they've been able to surround them with all that freed up money.
And I think that you're going to see a real big time drop off next year from Mahomes. I don't know if people consider that a hot take, but I'm not as sold on Mahomes as some people are. I think he was put into the most perfect situation to succeed and be as good as he was without the weapons.
Well,
Tyreek Hill's probably going to be suspended.
He might miss the whole year.
Yeah, he could be gone the entire year. You already lost Kareem Hunt.
He's gone.
Like,
I think there's
And Chris Conley's gone. Also.
and Conley's gone.
keep
He's
in-
losing
keep in
weapon
mind,
after
it's
weapon.
Like a step back is still pretty good for him because rookie year was complete lights out. So I think there's no
Even if he does 4,236
absolutely-
touchdowns, like
No,
that's
that's still a
still
great year.
But I'm saying absolutely he's going to be worse.
it's gonna be like he'd
Yeah.
have to break NFL records to be better.
You have
That's
to,
true.
but you have to, okay, it's an amazing.
You'd have to have the best career, the best year of all time to have a better.
No,
year.
but when I say I think he's going to have a severely down year, I'm not thinking 4,236 TDs.
You
I'm
think
thinking
35 and 20.
I'm thinking exactly. I'm thinking Tyreek.
No
I
way.
think Tyreek Hill is such a big part of his success. The man.
I agree.
The
Big
man
time.
just gets. He fucking separates
Arm
defenders.
strength and speed, dude.
Yeah, he
It's
just.
huge.
Have you? How many Chiefs games have you watched? And you see it, and it's like he throws a Tyreek Hill, and he's fucking 5 to 10 yards from the nearest defender.
Well, and
it's like,
then-
how is that even possible? It's the
Then,
speed.
then they pop one typically in the first half, and then they play two high safety, 20 yards off, and then Kelsey gets 10 catches.
Yeah, and then
underneath.
Kelsey's 10 yards cross, and then it's
Kareem
fucking
Hunt.
Kareem Hunt on the
Yeah,
dip and
I mean,
dunks.
you're
They're
making
not
a lot
gonna
of good.
have all
You're
that.
making a lot of good points, but I still think he has a big year. At the end of the day, Andy Reid's been able to.
Andy Reid is a great quarterback.
He's been able
coach.
to max out his guys for a long time.
He has.
Teams
I'll give you
have
that
not
for
been
sure.
very good. They're schematically, they're real strong. They're going to be conservative, so they won't put him in too many positions to fail. It's just they're not going to have the same big playability without Tyreek.
And I think it's very possible that I'm wrong. I'm not by any means taking this hot take as like, hey, this is
like
going to happen. It's a
guaranteed, he's going to suck.
No, like I think that Mahomes showed he did a lot of great shit last year. I'm not taking anything away from the guy at all. I just think that he is really his statistics were a product of what he had around him. I think you take a lot of the top tier quarterbacks in the league, the top 15, you put them in that offense with those weapons, and all of them, look at Alex Smith. I love Alex Smith, and I think he's
28-2 that year.
yeah, and I think he's been a great quarterback his entire career. He's a great game manager. He's really, really good at leading teams. He's really good at winning games. But
He'll
he went
get
to
you there.
He went to the Chiefs, and the fucking numbers all on the uptick.
I mean, the year he got there, they had the number one pick, and then they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
First year.
So we'll see what happens there. But
2-13 to 11-5. It was the biggest, and then they started like 0-4. It was like the biggest turnaround in football history. They won like 11
they won
straight.
like what? Yeah.
10-11 straight to finish the season.
We've got a couple things with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. JPP was in a car crash and
Yeah,
he could miss the season with a fractured vertebrae.
The dude's already had it rough enough, man. That sucks.
I'm trying so hard to not be inappropriate.
This is the grip it and rip it, baby. Just grip that shit and rip it.
Well, they said it was a solo car accident, meaning he was driving and he crashed,
Himself.
which begs the question:
Was he not able to hold the?
Did the
steering wheel?
previous accident affect the next one?
Did not
Did
having
he
some
did-
fingers affect his
Did he
ability to
spill
drive?
he spilled his coffee and reached for it with his good hand.
I
Grandma
don't
Strong
know.
here.
Like, I think I just signed my ticket to hell, but it's
Don't
the first
blow
thing,
up M80s
it's-
in your hands,
it's the
and then
first-
you won't
it's
crash
the-
your car.
That's a fair
It's
point.
the first thing I thought of. I was like, I grip my steering wheel kind of tight when I'm in tricky situations,
So he fucking
so
like this.
if it was like this,
He could have slipped. He
had
could have
a-
missed.
He had he hydroplaned. He was driving in the rain.
dude, he was in.
It's so bad. I'm laughing
I
about it.
played a
It's
Madden
unfortunate.
game the other day, and he was in there. He looked like the fucking Hamburglar with that thing on, like in the game.
Rondé Barber's.
Hang on. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. JPP, we're only joking.
No, we love you. It's just
Come on, dude.
you thought it too.
Yeah, you did. Like, I hope you don't have to miss the whole season. I hope you're next fine.
Yeah, I hope you're ready to go in a couple months, dude.
But we're all thinking
We're
it.
laughing. We're having a good time.
Damn.
Hopefully you're laughing with us. If not, complain in a comment on our page and get us
And
a whole bunch
complain about us to TMZ if you'd like.
Yeah. Call us out. Grip and Rip Podcast with Stocking Tops. JD the guest.
Now, Rondé Barber, staying there on the Bucks. Rondé Barber's being inducted into the Bucks Ring of Honor.
I think he deserves it.
Absolutely. It's a Hall of Fame corner.
Yeah, I mean, how many Super Bowls they got?
1.
There you go.
And he brought it to
And he is one of the main reasons that, I mean,
Him
that
and-
defense.
Well, I'm saying
was
him
just-
and Derek Brooks and
Warren.
Warren Sapp and
Warren
Simeon
Sapp,
Rice.
There's other
Simeon
guys, yeah.
Rice.
They made that happen. And the guy that won the MVP in the Super Bowl was
Was Lynch on that team still?
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he was knocking people's heads off.
God, I love that
That
guy.
defense was ferocious,
It
man.
really was. Although it's also one of the biggest it was one of the biggest blowouts in Super Bowl history.
I could be
Before the-
wrong, but I think it was 3. It's second.
I
Nine.
thought it was third. Now it's third. It might have been second at the time because I think the Bears in '85 was one of the highest. That was 46-10, if I remember correctly. Then
the
this one was
Seahawks-
42-28 or 42-22, something like that for the Buccaneers game.
I don't remember.
I think it was worse than that. I think it was like 42-14.
I'll do a fact check real quick on that one. And then
Because I know for sure the Niners 55-6 against the Chargers.
that's number one. And yeah, let me look that up. Bucks Raiders.
Jerry Rice's Super Bowl MVP. That was that one. Devastating blowout. Coincidentally, it's the last time we've won one.
Now John Gruden's back with the Raiders.
Fucking Bears could have won one if it wasn't raining in Florida
48-21.
against the Colts.
You know what?
What about the Denver Seattle one?
Wasn't it like 50 to fucking?
Yeah, I think it was like
Something.
48-6. I want to say.
Denver got blue.
Yeah, well, I mean, very first play of the game, they snapped it over
For safety.
for safety. to start
Fun
the game.
fact: 2 years in a row, first score of the game was a safety. Both times it was going off at what? Was it 50 to
The
1?
first one was way more money.
Was it?
Wasn't like 5,000?
Then after it happened, they cut it like not necessarily in
they fucking-
half, but it,
43-8.
One team didn't show up to play.
Yeah.
dude, they looked completely outclassed. From Percy Harvin had a kickoff to the house to start the second half.
Dude, I was so
They were
excited.
done right then.
I was so excited. It was college. You know, we were throwing a big Super Bowl party. It was like the first fucking quarter. I'm like,
This shit's over.
I was really my best college Super Bowl. I really enjoyed Cam Newton losing to the Broncos. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning didn't even need a football helmet at the time.
no. But yeah, going back to your thing
Von
about
Miller, though.
just the homerism, just going back to that 2006 Super Bowl, Bears, Colts.
Those 2 picks were trash. It rained on those possessions. It only rained on those possessions. Like it rained and then it stopped, and then they got the ball back and it rained again.
How great would
God hates the Bears.
How great would it have been for Rex Grossman to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback?
Would have changed his whole career probably.
God, that'd have been so awesome.
I loved Rex in college, man. He was my guy.
So
But I will say this: Prince, by far, hands down, #1 Super Bowl halftime show of all time. That will never be touched. That halftime show in the rain. Come on, dude.
Janet Jackson has more clout.
Oh, because showing your tits gets you more clout. I'm talking about Prince, man. He played Purple Rain in the rain.
Purple rain.
Wasn't it just a hologram
What?
at the most recent Super Bowl?
No, Prince was the
I'm
Super
like, he's
Bowl.
dead, dude.
Prince was the Super Bowl halftime show of that Bears Super Bowl
Oh, in 06?
in 06. Dude, it was amazing. It's like hands down considered like the best Super Bowl halftime show of all time. He fucking rocked the house.
I don't know. Madonna's was pretty cool. I don't even like her.
Good lord.
The visuals were amazing. Katy Perry sucked.
That's fucking true.
So, moving into MLB, we're going to jump right into our infamous Cubs watch.
I got nothing to say. They're playing well. Hopefully, I mean, they're still a game behind the Cardinals, which is great. And the Brewers are still the Brewers. And they'll blow it eventually. But
Kyle Hendricks threw the least 2019 game of the year a couple days ago.
It looked good, though.
Shit was amazing. 9 innings.
I know.
4 hits.
4 hits, 10
no
Ks.
no
The
runs.
pitch
Complete
count
game.
is the
10
He
Ks.
threw a Greg Maddux type game.
81 pitches.
It's a great fucking game.
The Cubs, as of today, May 7th, are 19-13, half game back of the Cardinals.
And it's terrible for America.
Well, I fuck with the Cubs, unlike this hater from the South Side. They actually drafted my dad out of high school, so I got a soft spot for him.
Complete bias.
That's what I said.
You should hate him because did he make the pros with them? No. They traded him to a different team.
Well, I mean, he made the pros with them, yes.
Oh,
he
he did?
didn't make it to the show with them.
No, that's what I meant. He didn't make it to the show. They
You
traded
said the
him.
pros.
Oh, well, you know what I meant.
Let's
didn't
not
make it
argue
to the
semantics,
show.
guys.
Who did he get traded to?
Cardinals.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They traded him to their fucking rival. That's how much I thought of your dad.
Well, they took him in the 14th round out of high school,
You
man.
should hate the Cubs. Sorry, Mr. Buonantony. No, I'm a fan, obviously.
It could have been worse, man. Fucking the Expos could have took him.
Yeah. Then he might have got to play with Vlad.
That's true. That'd have been tight.
I mean, he played with some guys.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
Ozzie Smith, heard of him?
Mr. Backflip himself.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute.
Some other MLB news. JD Martinez hits his 200th career home run. He ended that with a 62 plate appearance streak without a home run. So he went quite a while without one for him, but he hit his 200th.
Yeah, I think he's only got like 4 so far in the season.
What year of his career is this?
10?
Yeah, about. He's like 31.
I'm not that impressed by 200.
No.
Yeah, no, it
not
really
for
isn't.
him, but he's come on as of late. He's a guy what we like to call a late bloomer.
Yeah, he had some great seasons in his later 20s with the Tigers before he went to the Red Sox, and
That's what
before he went to Arizona, and then he went to the Red Sox.
I know him as a Tiger more than anything.
Yeah, but he started really, really blowing up with the Diamondbacks, and then he had great years with Boston. So 200 home runs, something notable.
He's only got 4 this year, so you wonder if that's a problem. That
I mean,
he's getting older.
Boston as a team is just kind of slumping. They're just
The whole city's down. Tom needs to pick him up.
Throw another parade.
for real.
Give Kyrie a call. Fuck, man. I would love to see a 3-1 comeback. Kyrie drops 43 times.
That'd be tight.
Blake Snell flirted with the perfect game. It was a flirtation. It was a real flirtation.
Snelly.
He in his first 2 starts, he didn't look like himself. But in his 3rd start back, he's still on a pitch count. He pitched 6 innings, and through 5 2/3, he was perfect. Got 17 batters out. Then a guy got a hit, and then finished the 6th with 9 Ks, and then they pulled him.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Great game. I think they were up handedly. So
I mean, there's only been, I want to say, I think it's 17 perfect games in MLB history. It's somewhere around that number if it's not exactly 17. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Triple Crown, is probably up there with it. But the perfect game's got to be one of the hardest things to accomplish
yeah, and he didn't even come close.
in all sports.
But for a guy that we've talked about a couple times already,
Yeah, no, I love
and we've
Blake.
been kind
I
of
love Snell.
monitoring him to see him finally get 6 innings of scoreless.
Yeah, it's good
with
that he's
10 K,
pitching better after coming off of his
9
little
Ks.
his
I would
little
say a
IL stint.
perfect game. Probably the only equivalent would be like 2 holes in one round type shit.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know what I would have
Equivalency,
compare that to.
A 60, 70 point game in basketball.
So,
Like there's not a real comparison.
that'd be like going 25 for 25 shooting
it's
in
super
basketball.
rare. Yeah.
Not missing a free throw,
So,
not missing a shot.
There's only been I want to say 25 perfect games ever. They've been playing baseball since 1880.
I think it's less. I think it's like 17.
Oh, okay. Because no-nos is much higher.
No-nos is in the 100. You can do no hitters, but to throw no hits, no walks, and have no errors.
Everybody's
it's a
0-3.
team contribution. It's not just a no hitter. That's it's a bit of both. You'll have the team contribution too, because you
got to make plays.
But if you got to make plays, but if they make an error on the play, that doesn't count as a hit.
Ooh, favorite perfect game all time. Whose is it?
Mark Burley's. I'm going the homerism, but it's Mark Burley's.
That was a pretty good one.
I think it's one of the top ones just because of Dwayne Weiss's catch in center field. If you've never seen the video of Dwayne Weiss's catch, we could put it right here.
We'll try. We got flagged for the Messi video, by the way. That's why that episode got taken down today.
Did we really?
It's going up again. I had to cut it
Oh,
out.
that's a damn shame. But yeah, if you don't know,
Message. Don't talk about soccer.
right?
God, that
think it
goal
was-
was amazing. I wish we could fucking show it.
I know it was really good. Fuck. But it was like 1 out in the 9th, and Mark Burley had a no or a perfect game going, and I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was versus the Rays, and some dude crushed one to center field. They were playing in Chicago, and Dwayne Weiss jumps up, fucking bobbles it on the fence and then catches it as he's falling to the ground. There's actually a spot if you go to, now it's called Guaranteed Rate Field. Used to be called U.S. Cellular Field. I call it Comiskey. They actually have the catch on the wall where it happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it just says the catch on the wall.
It's permanent. Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tight. It really is. That's why it's my favorite. And it's my favorite team, and I watched the game, so it has a special place. But I think it's actually up there, like legitimately, it's one of the better perfect games.
I'd say probably David Wells for the Yankees.
Ooh.
Like,
I thought that was David Wells was like 98.
But yeah, it might have even been late 90s.
Yeah.
But Paul O'Neill made that huge diving catch out in right field, and his slow, rickety ass.
That's the cool thing about all the perfect games is that besides the fact that a pitcher threw a perfect fucking game, there's always like that one play that you remember from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't Burley have like a
Randy
ball
Johnson's
flip too in that game?
No, he
made plays like that.
Burley has like one of the dopest plays of all time where it was a little number down the line and he fucking runs after it, flips it between his legs with his glove, and Konerko catches it with his bare hand.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, so
I think he's got the most
101 on the.
To say, I think Randy Johnson's probably the most dominant perfect game of all time.
6'10", man.
Here's the list: Randy Johnson, David Cohn, Philip Humber, Dallas Braden, Sandy Koufax, Dennis Martinez, Mark Burley, Len Baker, David Wells, Jim Bunning, Kenny Rogers, Mike Witt, Catfish Hunter, Roy Halladay, Charlie Robertson, Felix Hernandez, Addie Joss, Tom Browning, Matt Cain, Lee Richmond, and Don Larson.
Matt Cain's won me $1,000.
Yeah, it did.
That's awesome.
16 Ks, motherfucker. I remember that shit.
You know, I
You
will
were
say,
on a perfect game?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Matt Cain's.
You are the luckiest son of a bitch alive.
I think he was like plus 180. Like, I think they were going
I will
against
say-
Kershaw or something, dude. I could be wrong, but
You might
I think
be
they
right.
were the dog.
I will say this. I think Dallas Braden's is a really cool
Well,
one,
didn't he have
too.
something going on with like a family member or something?
His mom had passed away, and he threw the fucking perfect game on Mother's Day.
Fantastic stuff.
And didn't he get into a beef with A-Rod during that game?
If he did, I don't remember, but...
Yeah, he was jacked that day. And
Oh, yeah, he was. Dallas Braden's a cool dude.
A-Rod got like... Something happened. He came in from third, and he walked across the mound and put like a cleat mark in it, and Braden lost his mind.
So I don't have the total number, but Matt Cain's was the 22nd. So I
Okay,
think there's
so
been a
shit,
couple
you might
since that.
actually-
It was right about that 23, 24, something like that.
I will say this.
As you know, I'm a very, very avid baseball watcher.
I will say this. And this is not a homerism. I will say that the least memorable perfect game, by far, without a doubt, everybody on that list is Philip Humbers.
No, I didn't even know who he was.
Who?
Exactly.
It happened the same year that Matt Cain's did.
Yes, it did. And Humber was a member of the White Sox, and his career was shit, and he never did anything. He played like 3 years in the majors, but
He
motherfucker
goddamn
threw
it, he's got a
game.
perfect game.
Like, talk about immortalizing yourself no matter. Like,
He's on this show 10 years later.
Yeah.
like 7 years later.
Dude, my dad lost one in AAA in the ninth.
Oh, no.
Mike Stanley
That
Wow.
I will say that too.
ripped one to left.
Can't think of his first name. Know his last name, Villagrana or whatever, for the Tigers. By
Vogelsong?
far, no, Villagrana.
Okay.
I believe that's how you say his name.
Sounds like something you order in a Mediterranean place.
He looks like somebody that would work at a Mediterranean place. But by far, most egregious sports call of all time in any sport.
yeah.
Doesn't matter where you are. The umpire even
He
admits
ruined
to
it.
He cried about
He's
it.
the reason there's instant replay in baseball. It's
Yeah.
his fault alone.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
2 outs, bottom of the or top of the ninth, and
How did he not punch him?
dude, I don't even know.
I would have
I
dropped him.
don't even know. I mean, Jim Joyce, that was the umpire. For
They
the
were
game.
already celebrating.
Yeah, Miggy was going wild. He's the one that threw it to Villagrana, or however you say his name, at first base. Like,
And
he was out by a fucking like
By a
an
foot-
easy step.
step and a
yeah.
half.
And
yeah.
honestly, he's never even had a moment.
And
since
yeah, no,
then.
I mean he didn't do shit either. In
No, but I'm saying
majors.
like traumatic things happen to people, and it fucks them up.
Like-
God doesn't want me to be successful at baseball. Like,
and Jim Joyce, like that's the one, and I respect Jim Joyce. He's the one that fucked up the call, and like talk about fucking something up. Like remember how
at
we just
least
said
he owned it.
That's what I'm saying. Like
He
Philip
owned it
Humber.
hard.
You don't know who he is. You never heard of his name before. I can guarantee you, if anybody's watching this, if they're not a White Sox fan or like an avid baseball statistician, they have no fucking clue who that guy is, right? but he's immortalized. If you look up the perfect game
right
list,
here.
it's right there.
I said it.
With his
I
picture
said
next
his
to
name.
it,
Yeah,
right?
the picture's right there.
He's
Villagrana's
Steve
never gonna
Barton
get
of
that.
Umpires.
And Jim Joyce, like, he cried the next day, dude. Like, he felt that bad because he realized that he fucked up. And like you said, he at least owned it.
And he said, "I think I want to ruin this guy's perfect game."
Like, he got death threats, man.
Got Bartman.
That's a whole nother. We have to do a segment on Bartman.
One day. It'll be relevant at some point. He'll show
Like,
back up.
I won't be here for that.
Now, closing
I'll
up.
blame Moises Alou.
Closing.
Yeah, people forget that the fucking
love
Cubs were only
Moises.
winning 7-3 in that game.
Yeah, I
When
know.
fucking Bartman, not any of the fucking 15 fans around him.
And beyond that, Game 7, they were up 3-0 in the 7th.
Yeah.
So,
But no, it's Bartman's fault. Fuck off.
Alex Gonzalez, 2 errors in 3 years.
I love the Marlins.
This is
2 in 1 inning.
I love that Marlins.
This is the
team.
classic Cub fan.
That Marlins team is like one of my favorite teams of all time.
You got Steve Bartman, and then there's 15 other fuckers. Trying to catch the fucking ball, then it fucks up, and they
the
all,
bitch and the
this
wife beater.
fucking guy
Yeah. There's like 8 people that if they could have reached it, would have
got
made
it before
win.
Steve.
Yeah.
Bartman was like this. Like, he barely even fucking tried. The ball just, it's like that ball had eyes, and it was looking to ruin somebody's life.
Yeah.
And Moises Alou couldn't have caught that ball anyways.
It'd have been an amazing catch if he could have.
Jesus got drunk and was like,
This is the guy.
"We're gonna fuck with Steve today."
Yeah, bring the hat.
Yeah.
Bring me the hat full of names.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Steve Bartman.
It's Steve Bartman. How can we? Oh, he's doing the Cubs game tonight. I got an idea.
I'm going to fucking make him ruin a foul ball opportunity from Moises
We're gonna make
Alou,
a 30 for 30 out of this asshole.
and then we're going to blow a 6-run lead.
Oh man.
And closing up, one more thing I want to discuss.
Oh, we're done? Man, that
we're
went
almost-
by fast.
It always does, too.
we're almost-
That's what I'm saying. Like, I could do this for hours.
Almost done.
This was cool. Thanks for having me.
CC Sabathia picked up his 248th career win, and he has
CC.
3,000 Ks. See Hall of Fame pitcher.
It's a guaranteed lock once you're at 3,000 strikeouts.
And he's got one of those.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 Cy Youngs.
And there's a serious
Done.
body of work.
Done deal.
The 300 win club is no longer going to be a club.
And his best years were with Cleveland.
Yeah. There's no longer that. That's the thing. Is the
Consummate ace.
there used to there's two
Super ace.
Oh, yeah.
there's 2 clubs for pitchers that if you hit one of them and you're in it, it's practically a lock for the Hall of Fame. It was 300 wins or 3,000 strikeouts. The 300 wins, I honestly don't think you will see it happen anymore. I really don't. You have to be so dominant for so long and be able to. Too many guys are just having Tommy John surgery, and just not many guys
It
are
takes
throwing.
18 months to come back from that.
Yeah, and not many guys are fucking having these extended careers of 18, 19 years where they're winning 15 plus
Well,
games.
yeah, if you do the math on it, we're talking 20 wins a year for 5 years. That puts you at 100. I do it 3 times. So 15 years of 20 wins.
Yeah.
So that means you really had like 20 years of like 16, something like that. Like,
But
wow.
the one thing you can still get to is the 3,000 strikeout club. And out of all the pitchers that are in it, there's only 2 that aren't. I think there's like probably somewhere in the teens or low 20s for the 3,000 club as well. It's kind of, very similar to the perfect game club. Out of every pitcher that's in the 3,000 strikeout club, only 2 of them have yet to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And I'm going to trivia time. Can you guys guess who they are?
Roger Clemens and Andy Pettit.
Wrong or right and wrong.
So Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens is one of them.
Damn it. Foiled again.
Let me give you a second hint.
Okay.
He could be considered part of the KKK or a white supremacist.
Why'd you go there?
Because that's why people fucking hate him and he's never going to make it to the Hall. He said a bunch of racist shit many of times.
Oh, I
Kurt
know.
Schilling.
Yeah, it's
I was
Schilling.
going to say Dontrell Willis.
That's my favorite player of all time.
I was thinking of the least likely person.
But it's
Yeah,
Schilling.
it's Kurt Schilling.
I mean,
Both those guys should get in. So should Bonds. so
Disney
should
hates
Pettit.
Republicans, man.
huh?
Disney hates Republicans.
He said a lot of stupid shit.
Granted.
Like,
Mostly about transgenders.
yeah. Like, I'm not a Schilling hater by any means. Like, I think he was a great pitcher. I think that a lot of his greatness is a little bit, I don't know. I question it sometimes.
Bloody sock, dog.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the one defining moment, which is that'll work in his
And
favor.
before that, dude,
Yes,
he was so dominant
Well,
against the Yankees.
he
in that-
actually only had like
Him and Randy Johnson, best
Exactly.
1-2 punch, man, with the
in
Diamondbacks that
Arizona
year. Woo.
and then in Boston. He had Kurt Schilling had a great run of a couple years, but
he was
outside
solid
of
with the
that,
Phillies before that, dude.
he really wasn't that. I mean, I don't want to say I'm
Solid.
bad. Solid's a good word, but I don't know. I think he should make the Hall. I think that a lot of the that's why I make the joke, the white supremacist joke, because he said a lot of stupid shit.
I think all the
deserves
Roy,
that.
I think all the Roy guys should be in. I think Pete Rose should be in. I think Schilling should be in. I think Roger Clemens should be in. McGuire, all those guys.
McGuire, Bonds, probably not Palmeiro.
Pettit.
Dude, Palmeiro, if you're
got
going to let
500
one of them in, you got to let all of them
He
in.
got 500. You're gonna tell me they're not gonna let A-Rod in? Fuck that noise, dude.
I
Get
I
the
think we
fuck
have
outta
I think we
here.
have a decent amount of time we could talk about this for a couple minutes at least. I'm all for your idea, and I don't know what your opinion on that is. I'm for the Clemens, the Schillings. I mean, Schilling wasn't a PED guy, but even regardless, I don't think off the field,
I mean, we don't know that he wasn't.
as long as, I mean, that's true. But I think anything outside of just straight up beating women,
Who
should.
did that?
I'm saying I don't think off the field issues, PED usage.
But that's on the field issue.
Yeah.
Off the field, on the field stuff. I'm talking PED. I'm talking saying stupid shit.
My shit's about results and performance.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
talent.
I think that the Hall of Fame should be strictly based upon
Your play.
your play, and I think
During the era
and
that
that's
you
why I
played
said-
in.
And I think beating, that's why I use that example. I think that's something that you can look at and say, okay, maybe this guy should not be immortalized. And
Yeah, it's like the Michael Vick thing. Dogfighting's horrible, but in Virginia in the 80s, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So that's what he grew up seeing. Pete Rose, same thing. Gambling was not that big a deal. So betting a fucking 3-teamer, even though you play baseball, was not a big deal.
he never bet against his own team.
No, he did bet on his own team as a manager, though.
Yes.
That's what I think the real beef was.
That's exactly what he should do. He's betting on his own team to fucking win.
I mean, for sure. I mean, that's why Adrian McPherson got kicked out of Florida State. He had a bookie. He was betting on Florida State every week.
But going back to the point that you just said about for your era.
I mean, I think that with Bonds and McGuire
dog?
and Clemens
Sosa?
and all these guys, Sosa, dude, they were in a time where
Everybody was doing
every
it.
single person was doing it.
If not for the 1998 season,
Baseball would be dead.
How far in disarray would baseball be right now?
I think you could make a very good point that it would be
The world
a
stood
lot
still and
different.
watched baseball
Yeah.
for 6 fucking months.
So at the end of the day, they should really embrace the thing that, even though it's good that
brought
it's
them
out
back
of
to
the
the
game,
limelight.
they should embrace it. And these guys should be in the Hall, dude. And I think
I
they will
don't
get
even
in. They
care-
should be in, dude.
I don't even care if you put them in with an asterisk next to it.
They got to be in, man.
Put an asterisk next to it and put them in the hall.
Steroids didn't make Barry Bonds a home run or a Hall of Famer. Steroids
Mark McGwire
made
hit 48 as a rookie.
Yeah.
And see, that's my argument
Come
every
on.
time. It's that this is
Bonds was a Hall of Famer before he started.
Roger
juicing.
Clemens, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire. They'll get. Like I said, I think they're gonna get in. I think it'll be after all. Sadly, I think they're gonna be old as shit. I think it'll be after all the old ass writers die that are just standing by their fucking old school baseball rules. Fuck, dude. I hope they get in.
If their body of work is Hall of Fame worthy, they should be in, dude.
But worst of all, and this doesn't have to do with the PED stuff. It has to do with Pete Rose, and I'm calling it right now. This is what's gonna happen. Pete Rose is 70-something years old. Probably I don't know how old he is, but he's getting up there, right? I've met Pete Rose. I know you guys have talked about meeting Pete Rose too. He's a great fucking dude. He does autograph signings all the time.
Not Jimmy Butler.
Not Jimmy Butler.
Our softball team played with a bat that was signed by him.
Pete Rose is a solid dude. He's gonna make the Hall of Fame. I'm calling it. He's gonna get inducted to the Hall of Fame. The next vote after he dies.
Guaranteed.
That'd be fitting, just so that they can't
They don't
he
want-
won't be there to see it.
Yeah, they don't
the
want him to
speech.
see it.
They don't want the speech.
Yeah.
They don't want the speech. The fuck you, baseball writers. Fuck you, MLB, for allowing this to happen.
But he 100% deserves it.
100%.
Is he the biggest example of just
pure fuckery?
media shame dictating results?
Yeah. I would say so. I can't think of anybody else that should be in the Hall of Fame that isn't in the Hall of Fame.
It's like him, McGuire, and Bonds.
Roger Clemens.
And they forget about it. I think Clemens is an afterthought in that discussion.
I honestly, I don't even put if I had to
Those guys.
rank them, here's the list, right? And it's the names of Clemens, Bonds, McGuire, and Pete Rose are in there. Here's fucking Pete Rose, and I'd put those other guys down here. The body of work that Pete Rose has,
I'd put McGuire and Bonds up there for sure.
I wouldn't. I mean, granted, yeah, you're right. The
You
breaking
gotta
the
put
home
Bonds
runs
over McGuire and
Bon-
right up there towards
Bonds
Rose.
is above McGuire for sure. Bonds is the second one on that list, but just the body of work and the sustainability of how fucking amazing Pete Rose was in his career and how he played the game puts him above everybody, just in my mind.
He's the model for how you want to teach little leaguers how to play.
Yeah.
Try hard every fucking time. You don't have to hit home runs every time. Be a good team guy. Play hard on defense. Have a good glove.
And then you'll end your career with 4,200 hits.
And not make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, then you'll have the most perfect Hall of Fame career resume possible, and you won't get in.
It's the hardest thing. That's my thing. It's the hardest thing to do in sports, and he was the best to ever do it. And he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Side note: Reggie Bush should get his Heisman back too.
For real. The fact that they took that shit. The fact that they took that shit away from him was amazing. Oh, because he took some fucking money.
That really affected how he juked motherfuckers.
Yeah, no. When he jukes and fucking pulls the ball around his back, yeah, you're right. He doesn't deserve the Heisman because they gave him money. What fucking kid isn't gonna take money to go play a sport?
Arian Foster got money. They just don't have any awards to take away from him. Like, they all took money.
Same with DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, like, dude, there's no awards to take away. There's no wins to vacate.
They should have gave him the vegan award.
Yeah.
Probably what ruined his career.
Do you want to go ahead and bring us home?
All right, I'll bring us home.
And I think that
My favorite part,
I think
sure.
that Dan, with our guests, we should have them reveal the.
Ooh, I get to say who it is?
Yeah, I think so. If Dan's cool with it,
I'm cool with it. I like just bringing it home. I don't gotta say.
Yeah,
Bring
dude,
it. I love you bringing
do
it
your
home too.
SNL
man.
movie voice thing.
Yeah, bring it home, and then JD, go ahead and give us the reveal.
Okay, cool. I
All right,
I know
so-
who it is. I heard it an hour ago.
So our favorite segment on the show, and we hope your favorite segment at home.
Hands down.
Today's biggest piece of shit.
As a team, I don't know where Milwaukee goes from here because
Whoa. So is this over?
No, listen, I think it's over.
This series is over.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Is
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce is today's biggest piece of shit. Jake, could you please go into, and Chris, please go into a little bit of detail about why Paul Sweat
Well,
Pierce is today's biggest piece of shit.
We're all friends outside of this podcast, and we have a thing called KOD, Kiss of Death. We take it very seriously. Would you care to elaborate?
Yeah, kiss of death is when you basically shore up exactly what's going to happen as it's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen because you've locked it in as it happening. The universe works in very mysterious ways, and anytime you note something as a lock, the universe takes that lock away from you.
You don't ever guarantee fucking anything, especially when it comes to sports.
Yeah, like winning a game by 10 when you have them plus 14 in the fourth quarter. This game's in the bag, JD.
Or when you got a fucking king at a blackjack table and you're facing a 6.
You know the dealer's
Oh,
got
you got
7
this,
card
bro.
21.
You got this. Don't fuck it, bro. You got
The
this.
dealer's 7 card
Don't
21.
even worry
for sure.
about it.
And then boom, boom, boom,
So,
boom, boom.
what
5
did,
cards
so what
later.
did Paul Pierce do exactly?
Oh yeah, he the Celtics were up 1-0 after the first game in Milwaukee, and Paul Pierce said that the Bucks are done. And since then, the Celtics have gone 0-3, and Milwaukee is about to end this shit.
Do you know what Kyrie's field goal percentage is since that quote?
Oh man, not good. Is it under 30%?
Well, he went
It's gotta
eight.
be
He went
real
8 for
close.
22, and then he said, "I'll never have another game like that."
And then it was worse.
And then you're right because he went 7 for 22 the next game.
Oh, Kyrie. You almost made the biggest piece of shit.
So Paul Pierce made the decision it'll make it so Kyrie doesn't come back now.
Yeah.
He's out for sure.
Basketball free agency is going to be real exciting to talk about.
Yes, it will be.
Bring me back for that shit.
Yeah, and we want to have we've got kind of a roster of people we want to use.
Yeah, we're gonna start bringing in some guests
and
every
we'll
week.
keep bringing people back also. And
I'm down for a free agency prediction show.
that'd be cool.
Fuck yeah.
That would be cool.
We should probably do that sometime around the lottery.
Which I did see Kyle Kuzma is the Lakers representative for what that's worth. Useless information.
Lower 3-point percentage than Lonzo Ball this year.
I feel like that was a dig at me. And we will save
No,
the
'cause
Lonzo Ball
a
hate.
lot of people think Kuzma's a god and think Lonzo's a piece of crap.
But we'll save that for
Oh,
next time.
Sorry. I'm just a guest.
Hey, listen here, guest. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming out.
Don't give me too many margaritas next time because I'm very passionate about my sports.
And we thank you guys for following along and watching us. Please like and subscribe the Grip It and Rip It YouTube channel and Facebook page.
Feel free to reach out with any questions, comments, concerns, corrections.
Yeah, exactly. Anything you guys want to know, you want to ask any questions, it could be personal, it could be sports related. We'll answer them on the live show for you.
And any sponsors out there, give these guys money so their show could be bigger and doper.
Yeah, we want to be dope.
Yeah. So I'm talking to you, Frank's Red Hot.
Let me talk shit on a fucking national scale.
So coming to you from Rolling Sevens, this is Danny Tops, this is our guest JD, and I'm Chris Stockwell. Thank you for joining us on the Grip It and Rip It podcast, episode 4.
Don't be next week's biggest piece of shit.
Yeah.
You think people would learn?
I think that should be the sign off from now on.
That's actually not bad.
Don't get on the shit list.